Lions. Torredine, 6-foot junior guard from Miami, Florida. Anthony White, 6'3" senior guard from Philadelphia. Tristan Harper, their leading scorer, 6'6" senior from Columbus, Georgia. Cortez Mosley, 6'5" junior from Peoria, Illinois. And Sharif Knox, a 6'6" sophomore from Philadelphia, rounds out the starting five. So almost a new program in a sense. MACU's going to wear their black jerseys at home tonight. Knox winning the tip against Hurd, and we are underway here at the Galkey Activity Center. Alex Friedman and Adam Stanek with you here on MACUathletics.com. Dean controlling for the Lions, had it poked loose by Clark, and now a back and forth battle in the backcourt between Gaines and Harper. Bell will be with MACU. Evangel's last game overall was last week on the road in San Marcos, Texas, against NCAA Division I Texas State. And they lost 71-53, but after a bad first half, actually outscored Texas State in the second half. Doolittle has it poked loose by Dean, gets it back. Gaines back to Doolittle with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Doolittle spinning off to Hurd. 17-foot jumper rims out and rebounded by Harper.
This is shaping up to be one of those games where first team to 100 may win. These are the two top shooting teams in the Sooner Athletic Conference. The Evangels coming in 55.2%, Langston at 54.2%.
Knox will give off to Dean, thought about the three. Now leaves for Harper. Harper whips it to Dean, 7 on the shot clock. Knocks out to set the screen. Knox with a three from the wing, rattles out. Calavan is out hustled the rebound by Mosley. Dean with another three, no. And we're going to have a foul against Deron Clark, jostling for the rebound along with Tristan Harper.
Evangels need to do a little bit better job on the glass. 3 rebounds already for the Lions. The Evangels still looking for their first board.
The 2 official games for Langston, 24 total offensive rebounds. Mosley was passing off to the side. We've got a moving screen on Knox, who's called for the foul. So Chris Wright, last 4 seasons at Talladega College with quite the run. 106-25, qualified for the national tournament each season. Took his team all the way to the national championship last year, or losing to Loyola, a conference foe. 4 of their 6 losses on the year were against Loyola. And now we've got MACU Seth Hurd called for a moving screen at the other end.
Officials certainly making it a point of emphasis. As you mentioned before already, the second moving screen call. We're not even 2 minutes into this game.
Now Chris Wright looking to work his magic here at Langston. Mosley will give off to White. White fadeaway shot off the back of the rim. Hurd battling for the rebound. Langston wins another. Another 3 on the way from White. It was only a matter of time given how many chances they've had early on tonight.
Yeah, you cannot give your opposition that many second chance looks, and finally the Lions were able to capitalize.
White makes it 3-0. 17:40 to go in the first half. Gaines lost his balance and lost the ball. Harper battling against Hurd is going to be called for a travel.
Good job by Seth Hurd moving his feet with the defender, forcing him to cause the turnover.
Cedric Rowland replacing Knox for the Lions. And MACU in their first 2 games of the season, at least 100 points in each, but the defense was a little bit worrisome. Coach Gamblin thinking that it got better those exhibition games. Dean, the steal, the basket, gets blocked by Doolittle, but also called for the foul.
You're talking about the offensive efficiency of both teams coming into this one. The Evangels so far held to a goose egg through the first 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Team that leads the NAIA coming into this one, averaging 106 points a game.
Toru Dean makes the first, was 2 of 4 entering tonight. Dean out of Miami, transferred from Barry University in Florida. Dean goes 2 for 2, and he'll be replaced by A.J. Rainey.
As you mentioned before, this is almost a brand new Langston team. Seven of their top newcomers, new first-year players here with the Lions.
Yeah, only one player from last year's roster remains. Calavan finding Hurd, the teammates formerly at Central Oklahoma, now here at MACU connecting. And MACU's got its first bucket tonight.
Seth Hurd, the Sac's top shooter at 75% coming into this contest.
Harper giving it to Rainey, who deflects it over to White. White finding Rowland, long 2 left side. Middle of the weak side rebound comes to Harper, bullies his way to the basket, can't finish. Calavan able to clear. Here's Gaines angling towards the sideline. Calavan releases a 3 off the front of the rim, rolling the rebound for Langston. Coach Wright tells Rainey to slow things down. 16:15 to go in the first half. A 5-2 Langston lead.
It was a rare miss for Calavan. Came into the game 5 of 7 from beyond the arc.
Rainey, the feed to Rowland. 8 on the shot clock. Rowland tried to slip it to Harper, and it's taken away by Doolittle. Calavan finding Gaines near the corner. His shot off the back of the rim softly comes over towards Mosley.
Evangels struggling here in the early going, knocking down just 25%, just 1 of 4 from the field.
Rainey finding Mosley underneath, pivots a couple times and then missed. It gets hit out of bounds by MACU. Jalen Barnett and Quinn Woodson in for the Evangels. For Langston, Devontae Brown is in. Dean also back in.
Speaking of rare misses, that was a rare one for Cortez Mosley as well, one of the top shooters in the SEC as well, coming in at 70.6% from the field.
Still 5-2. Woodson double teamed down low, got fouled. The foul on Dean, his first and the team's second.
Dean, one of 2 NCAA Division II transfers. As you mentioned before, transferring in from Barry.
Jalen Barnett drawing a foul. Island Goodwin also into the game for MACU off the last substitution. The foul on Rainey, and Jalen Barnett will go to the free throw line. He's 8 of 9 so far.
And with the injury to Josiah Lewis, it's going to be important for Jalen Barnett to step up in his absence, because he's going to be running the point for a good chunk of the time.
Coming off 9 points against Ozark Christian. Knox back in for Langston, and Barnett makes the second. It's 5-3. Dean directing traffic. Getting off to Rainey. 14 to shoot. Back screen to Rainey. Rainey's 3 off the mark. Another offensive rebound. The bucket and the foul for Devontae Brown.
Not a smart foul there for Barnett. If you're going to foul, you're going to have to try to stop.
And never threatened after that.
Devontae Brown stepping to the foul line. 3 for 3 from the charity stripe this season.
Brown out of Petersburg, Virginia, misses the free throw. Mack able to track it down with Woodson grabbing it. 7-3 lead for the Lions. Barnett throws it behind Clark, able to recover back to Barnett. 13 left on the shot clock. Calavan with 10 to shoot, guarded by Dean. Hand off to Clark. Clark trying to make something happen. Contested three, doesn't go, but he got fouled by Mosley.
Lions had been doing a pretty good job of containing Deron Clark. If it weren't for that foul call, that would have been his first shot attempt here in the first 5 minutes and some change.
Now Deron Clark, in the MACU's 2 official games, has had at least 22 in each, getting a 32 in his team debut. As Clark hitting the first free throw. Also had a team-high 12 points in the exhibition against Texas State.
Outstanding foul shooter as well, 24 for 26 from the charity stripe so far, and now make it 25 of 28.
First year in the program, transferred from University of Colorado, Colorado Springs. Out of San Antonio. Terrence Gaines back in for MACU. Harper re-enters for Langston. Now a 7-5 lead for the Lions. MACU's first official game since October the 29th. It's 19 days ago. A 105-100 win against Ozark Christian, in which MACU led by 19 with 8 minutes left before a flurry by Ozark Christian. MACU able to eventually escape with a 5-point win. Harper at the free throw line. They kick in, working around to Brown. And the corner's 3 missed, but MACU could not grab the rebound and will go out of bounds and stay with the Lions.
Only 2 official games so far, but the Evangels have a flurry coming up as they'll be playing 4 games in 5 days, starting with Central Christian on Saturday, before competing at the Battle of the Beach down in Florida.
Games Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for the Evangels down there in Panama City Beach, the Florida Panhandle.
Got a tough one to open it too, so they'll be taking on the reigning national champion Loyola in the first game.
Dean with 2 to shoot, lets it go straight on and got it.
Just a cold-blooded three. Realized at the last minute the shot clock was winding down. Took his time, and it was a smooth-looking shot.
10-6 Langston lead. Goodwin cannot answer. Dean skies in for the rebound. 10-6 with 13:08 remaining in the first half. Knox going to try a 3 off the back of the rim. And Gaines for the rebound for MACU. Already 8 taken 3-pointers by Langston. MACU just 1 of 5 from the floor so far. There's Clark reversing to Goodwin. Fake the pass, takes the shot, and got it. Rylan Goodwin is moved into a much more significant role here this year. It's that 3, MACU's first tonight, to get within 1 point.
I think it was just a matter of time for Goodwin as well. He was an NJCAA All-American a couple of years ago at Dallas College Eastfield. Finally starting to show it off here with MACU.
Woodson the foul, he'll come out. Seth Hurd in. Roland back in, as is Anthony White. Nice shot off the glass that time by Harper.
Seems like just as soon as the Evangels get back into this, the Lions come up with another big shot to pull it back to a 3-point lead.
Step back is short by Gaines and a defensive rebound by the Lions. Gain leaving for Harper. Harper eyeing up Goodwin, slashes the basket and finishes, and the foul. Oh, it is so loud in here, couldn't hear the whistle.
Kind of a late whistle a little bit too. I thought they were just going to give it an easy layup, and then all of a sudden here comes the foul call a couple seconds after the fact. Now the Lions can push this out to a 6-point lead here with Harper stepping to the line.
Last year in Middle Georgia State, over 18 points per game. First team All-Southern States Conference player. Missed the free throw and the rebound by Gaines.
Southern States Conference, one of the premier leagues in the NAI, so it's a big accomplishment to be finished on the first team.
Hurd trying to get it, and it's taken away by Langston, leading by 5. Dean the kick out, 3 on the way, that time by Brown, off the mark and gains the rebound. Clark able to shake the defender free briefly. MACU down by 5. Hurd, baseline left, working against Rowland. Tries to step through to his left. The ball is loose and grabbed near the corner by Dean.
Lions have played absolutely tenacious defense in the low post, closing down the lanes, not giving the Evangels an easy shot.
White's 3 from the top is good. MACU calls another timeout. MACU down 17-9 here in the first half with Langston currently on a 7-0 run. Doolittle back in the game for MACU, and Doolittle is fouled en route to the basket. The foul on Dean, his second. It'll be the team's 5th.
It's a big foul. He's been one of the leaders for the Lions so far in this one with 5 points.
A.J. Rainey will come back in. Gaines inbounding, gets it to Clark. Guarded by Mosley. Clark spinning to his right, got stripped of the ball. It is loose. Rolling on the floor to grab it. Ball still loose. Knox jumps on it. And now they're going to call a jump ball with possession of the Evangels. Goodwin will be the inbounder for MACU near the Langston bench. As the Evangels 2 of 8 from the floor so far. Langston's taken twice as many shots. Now 10 minutes into the game. Whistle away from the ball. And that is Rowland. All for holding Hurd. Rowland's first. Harper back in. Rowland will come out. Both teams going to be in the bonus for the remainder of this half with 10:04 to go. Nice inbound play to a wide open Goodwin who finishes.
Well executed cut and well executed screen and a good finish by Goodwin.
17-11, MACU down.
Finally puts a stop to this 7-0 Lions run.
Knox 3 right side, rattles in.
Langston starting to catch fire from beyond the arc, now 4 of 10 at 40%.
Knox had only attempted 2 threes on the year. He's attempted 3 here within the first half. And now a steal. Here's Rainey with it for Langston. Rainey, the basket is fouled.
That is going to be the second personal foul on Seth Hurd, and that's a big one for MACU.
A.J. Rainey to the line for 2. Rainey has gone 0 for 3 at the line. Last year, Rainey was at LSU Alexandria, where he was the Red River Conference's newcomer of the year. And Rainey makes the first. Started all 27 games, averaged under 19 points per game. First 2 collegiate years at Blinn Junior College in Texas, for then a redshirt season at NCAA Division I Nicholls State. Rainey makes both. It's now an 11-point lead for the Lions. It was 10-9 Langston, and now Terrence Gaines just was not looking for the ball from Doolittle. So since Langston led 10-9, they've outscored MACU 12-2.
Evangels need some sort of momentum breaker here. Get a big defensive stop here and get it back under single digits.
Rainey kicking in the corner. We got a travel before the shot by Brown.
5th turnover here by the Lions. So far it's been a little sloppy for both teams. The Evangels up to 6 turnovers.
Doolittle had Woodson open for a moment, didn't see it though. Goodwin for MACU, hands off to Calavan. His 3 on the way, off the mark, tipped around, still loose. It'll be grabbed by Brown. MACU still looking for their first offensive rebound tonight.
Struggles continue from behind the arc as well, just 1 of 5 so far.
Brown jump stop, throws it up, and it swishes home. Make it a 14-2 run. Take a 13-point lead at 24-11. Doolittle the basket, off the glass and cleared by Langston again. Harper the rebound. Rainey just inside half court, basically having a conversation with Coach Wright. Rainey through the middle, finding a cutting Mosley at the basket and fouled.
Unbelievable move by Rainey, somehow splitting that double team. Good finish at the rim as well, and another opportunity for a 3-point play for the Lions.
Deron Clark back in. Mosley out of Peoria, Illinois, junior college transfer. Missed the free throw, Woodson the rebound. So 16-2 and 9-0 run right now for Langston. And MACU almost turned it over. All knocked out of bounds by Mosley. Jalen Barnett in for MACU, and Rowland and White in for Langston.
This is a Langston defense coming in, only allowing 55 points a game, and it's easy to understand why with how heavy their pressure has been against the Evangels tonight.
Got a whistle away from the ball. It's going to be against Langston, and MACU's going to have a 1-and-1 coming up. Now on Harper is first. Calavan at the free throw line. His first free throws of the season. Transfer from UCO by way of Fort Gibson, Oklahoma. Moved to the starting lineup tonight in place of the injured Josiah Lewis, and Calavan misses the front end of the 1-and-1. MACU down by 15 here in the first half. Mosley, baseline right. Out up top to Rainey. Rainey finding White on the baseline. Now to Rowland. 9 to shoot. Rowland long 2. That's good.
Good confident step back for Rowland, and the beat goes on for the Lions with this lead now up to 17.
12 unanswered for Langston. Clark contested three. That's off the mark and out of bounds. MACU just is kind of spinning their wheels and not going anywhere right. MACU is down by 17. It's 28-11. 6:32 to go in the first half. Rainey controlling for the Lions. Harper pump fake, drives in, elevates, hits.
Looks like they're going to call a flop warning.
No, it's a technical. There are no more flop warnings. There's no more warnings for either flops or delay of game. It's just an automatic technical. And it's just one free throw. MACU will get the ball. It's now 30-12. So MACU with 6:19 remaining before half, looking to turn things around. With Woodson driving in, and we've got a whistle against Langston. And Mosley taking the brunt of the contact, but also called for the foul.
I think he was just a hair late trying to slide over to draw that charge, and as a result, it'll send Quentin Woodson now to the foul line.
Now Woodson much improved at the line from last season. MACU has missed already 1-1 in front end of a 1-1. Knox and Brown back in for the Lions. And now it's just kind of adding the list of things that have not gone right for MACU in this half. The second missed front end of a 1-1. White tried to get the off-balance underhand shot to go. MACU back the other way. Barnett in a no-man's land. Eventually gets tipped out to Gaines. Gaines, nice feed underneath to Barnett. And now we've got a flop technical on Barnett. Barnett getting some clarification from the official. Harper will make the free throw at the other end.
So we were talking about earlier in the game how illegal screens were a point of emphasis for the officials in this game. It also looks like they're keeping a very strong eye on the flop, calling it whenever they suspect it's happening.
That's one of those things, I don't know why you give a tech. If it's not a foul, then just don't call the foul. You know, I don't know why you need to necessarily tee a guy up. Three on the way from Brown. Another one for Langston. They're 5 of 11 here in the first half.
Pretty good three-point shooting team coming into this one at 40.5%.
Now leading by 20 at 34-14. The first foul called on White. 19 foul, gains the line. MACU will try and convert the front end of a 1-1 for the first time this half.
And once again, they come up off the mark.
Knocks the rebound for Langston.
I think if you're the Evangels, your goal is try to get it down to single digits. You're not going to be able to get this lead back all in one blow.
Really the first bad miss of the night by Langston, as Harper too strong and missed the basket. It's touched out of bounds by the Lions. But an impressive first 15 minutes and change for Langston, staking themselves to a 20-point lead. Clark along the arc gives off to Caliban. 14 to shoot for MACU. Nothing has come easy tonight. Woodson now forced into a travel.
Seventh MACU turnover now, and with them only shooting 30.8% from the field, it's been tough sledding for the Evangels offensively tonight.
4 of 13 from the floor, 7 turnovers. And there was the really good inbound play from underneath the basket, but outside that, I mean, it's been hard to find any clean looks. Knox, who's been 3 happy tonight, off the back of the rim. Nice rebound that time by Gaines to get up. Barnett finding Woodson. Woodson able to finish.
Good drive there from Jalen Barnett, stepping up big time off the MACU bench. Maybe just what the Evangels needed here to get things going.
34-16, the Langston lead. Rainey faked right, then blew by Barnett to the left side of the basket for the lay-in.
Just too easy. You got to be able to close off that baseline. Barnett just fell asleep a little bit there defensively.
Clark got fouled by Knox, and that puts MACU in the double bonus.
Right guy at the foul line for the Evangels, and Clark, who's 4 for 4 from the charity stripe tonight.
As you mentioned earlier, Adam, though, just one official field goal attempt for Clark, who's been bottled up like everybody else. Mosley, White, and Rowland back in for Langston. Goodwin and Doolittle for MACU. Now, MACU, even though it's a double bonus, that's now 4 straight trips to the free throw line where they've missed the first free throw.
And 2 rare misses for Deron Clark. He's a guy who, as we talked about coming in, shooting 92% from the foul line.
Still a 20-point lead. Brown the kick to an open Dean, but Dean stepped on the sideline. Mosley back in for Langston to replace Rainey.
Got to give a lot of credit to this Langston team. Very good defensively. Have not made things easy for MACU tonight.
Yeah, none whatsoever. Goodwin to the basket. Unable to finish with the left hand. Coach Gamblin wanted a foul called. Dean giving off to Rowland. Up top guarded by Woodson. Brown one dribble, picks it up, leaves for White. 14 of the shot clock for the Lions, leading by 20. 2.5 to play in the first half. Dean, I don't know how he saw Mosley. Mosley, though, is blocked by Goodwin. It somehow was last touched out of bounds by Langston.
That was a heck of a pass, but good job by the Evangels coming up with the blocked shot.
Mosley out, Harper in. Jonathan Alexandre in for the first time for MACU.
First blocked shot of the night for either team, coming here with just over 2 minutes left.
Still 36-16 the score. Clark's got a little space. Good hands that time by Brown to knock it out. Rainey back in. for Dean. As Coach Wright really mixing and matching frequently throughout this half. That is the one thing about Langston is they don't have a ton of depth at the moment. As the ball hit out of bounds, and I would imagine it's just a way to keep guys a bit fresh with the way they defend and the intensity in which they defend with.
It certainly may play a factor down the stretch with 3 guys with 2 foul calls, and it looks like we're going to get another one. This one's going to be on Harper, and that's going to be his second, so now 4 players with 2 fouls.
Believe for stepping over the end line.
Actually, I guess
or
they didn't.
Maybe that's a delay
game warning, perhaps.
Again, I thought there were no more delay game warnings, but I could be wrong. There's no official announcement from the public address. And one of the officials did come over the scorer's table. Gaines finding Goodwin in the corner. They work it around to Clark on the wing, under 10 to shoot. Alexandre open from the left side, in and out. Goodwin battling for the rebound. It is last touch out of bounds by Harper.
That was one where I thought Goodwin should have took the shot, tried to make the extra pass, and as a result, the Evangels had a tougher time trying to score.
I think Coach Gamblin agreed with you. He was a bit frustrated. MACU almost threw it away. Doolittle able to contain it. Minute 45 remaining in the half. They're down by 20. Doolittle fouled by Rainey. Now, MACU, they've been given chances with the clock stopped to shave time off this lead, but they've now missed 5 straight free throws. And not only that, but by missing 3 of those, they missed a chance to get another free throw. As Doolittle able to make the first. That is his first point tonight.
And the Lions have only scored 2 points here in the last 3 minutes. As he said, the Evangels have had an opportunity to try to cut into this lead and just haven't been able to do so far.
Doolittle turns around MACU's fate at the free throw line by making both. It's 36-18. Harper going to his right over Goodwin. He got fouled. Goodwin's second.
Harper's been a very good free throw shooter from the line as well. Comes into the game 16 for 17. Just 1 of 2 tonight.
Harper out of Columbus, Georgia. And the lefty makes the first. Alexandre in for Woodson. Entering the game for the first time for Langston is Zach Thomas. Harper going 2 for 2. 38-18, the Langston lead late in the first half.
Harper nearly with a double-double, and it's almost halftime with 8 points and 8 rebounds.
Alexandre tries another 3. It's off the back of the rim. Doolittle tried the tip in, and now Langston able to come away with it, with Brown winning the battle for the loose ball. 1 minute to play in the first half. 38-18 Langston. Harper giving off to White. White's 3 on the way. Off the mark. Rebounded. One hand that time by Gaines. 45 seconds remaining in the first half. Good win over to Alexandre, who got fouled. Thomas with the foul. Alexandre 7 of 8 at the line on the season. Boy, the free throw struggles continue for MACU in the half.
Now 7 of 13.
Able to get the second. Woodson in for Alexandre. 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Certainly been a bit unorthodox for MACU too after they shot 84.1% from the charity stripe through the first 2 games.
Here's Harper going to his left, giving off to Brown. Baseline pull-up off the mark, and a whistle, I believe, on Doolittle. Going for the rebound. It'll send Harper to the line.
That'll be Doolittle's second. He's the third Evangel in foul trouble with 2.
Harper, 9 points, 8 rebounds so far. Impact first half, to say the least. And Thomas will come back in to replace Rainey. Harper off the mark on the second. We've got a call against Brown of Langston. We will head back the other way for more free throws.
Woodson stepping to the line, 0 for 1 so far tonight. Beat continues to go on for the Evangels. Already the 7th missed free throw in this half. Certainly going to be a point of emphasis for Coach Gamblin at the half. You have to take advantage of the free opportunities that you get.
Now Woodson's second is going to miss as well. Woodson tries to track it down near the corner, can't save it. Langston will have possession with 20 seconds left and leading by 20 at 39-19. Knox in for Langston to replace Rowland.
Lions can now hold for a final shot and even build upon this 20-point lead.
Rainey will hand off to White. Working around the perimeter. Rainey's got it now with 8 seconds left. Rainey crossing to his left. Fake the pass. The floater doesn't go. 3 seconds left for Goodwin. Over to Gaines. It is not going to count. Gaines for MACU. It's Harper, Dean, Knox, White, and Mosley for Langston. Well, Lions open with the ball, and he got a whistle against Langston, believe for White stepping out of bounds without being forced out, and then touching the ball. Clark will give off to Gaines. Again, MACU just did not have much of an answer against the Langston defense, and they're going to turn it over on their first possession. White to the rim, had the shot altered. Knox there to clean it up.
The Evangel struggles continue offensively. That is their 9th turnover.
Hurd gets the nice feed from Gaines and finishes.
Probably the easiest look the Evangels have had in quite some time.
No Evangel had more than 5 points, forced only 19 as a team in the first half. Knox will lead to White. His 3 on the right side, good. Langston 6 of 14 from beyond the arc tonight. Anthony White's third made 3. MACU almost turned it over again. Doolittle pulling in the middle of the paint and knocks it down.
Evangel's making something out of nothing, and that play a good cut there by Doolittle to get open in the lane and get the open jumper.
44-23. White thought about it again. He'll drive in instead. Lead for Knox. Knox fakes the pass, takes the shot, and hits it.
Definitely not what the Evangels needed here to start out the second half. They needed to cut into this Langston lead, but it just keeps building.
Gaines spinning. That's taken away again. Down speed to Knox. Lobbing for White. Able to lay it in.
Yet another Evangels turnover here to start the second half.
Hurd will give off to Doolittle near side. Doolittle spinning baseline. Tough finish and the foul, and maybe that's the spark MACU needs.
Certainly a big bucket for the Evangels here on this end. Now they need to take care of business defensively.
Devontae Doolittle out of Hughes, Arkansas. Transfer from Arkansas Pine Bluff. Rowland and Rainey in for the Lions.
Now leads the team with 6 points, 2 of 3 from the field, 2 for 2 from the foul line.
MACU's troubles at the foul line continue. It's 49-25. 17 and a half minutes to go. Rainey getting a screen from Harris. Now White, contested shot, he's feeling it. White leading all scorers with 13. Clark still looking for his first field goal. Finding Gaines, now down low to Hurd. Passes out of a double team to Doolittle, 13 to shoot. Doolittle looking for Hurd on the roll. His 12-foot jumper is short. That's Harper's 10th rebound tonight. He's got a double-double. Mosley getting off to Rainey up top. 12 to shoot. White had a shot blocked by Gaines. Good help defense. Ahead to Doolittle. Cannot finish, but Clark there for the tip-in. And there's going to be a foul on the basket as well on Mosley.
Looks like they called him for the hip check on Clark going up. Chance for the Evangels to really cut into this with the three-point opportunity. And for that, that's actually Clark's first made bucket of the night. Finally coming here, the 16-26 mark here in the second half.
Dean and Brown back in for Langston. Clark converts the three-point play. 51-28 the score. MACU still a ton of work to do here. Rainey driving in, able to finish. Boy, Rainey has been impressive tonight. Not only getting to the hoop, but also creating for others. Calavan has it taken away. Round ahead to Rainey. Rainey to the basket. Good body control, couldn't finish. Here's Doolittle for MACU in the middle of the lane. Now backs it back out. The transition defense by the Lions. Doolittle finding Hurd open in the middle. Shot offline.
I think Hurd needs to get a little more assertive, get to the bucket. That is where his bread and butter is at. He's been trying the mid-range jumper, and it's just not been working for him tonight.
Now, the positive for MACU in the first 4.5 minutes of this half is they are getting better looks. They are getting better looks on the offensive end. Unfortunately, still down by 25. Offensive foul called against Harper.
Good defensive positioning by Deron Clark to step over and draw that charge.
Hurd checking out, Quinn Woodson in. Mosley back in for Harper. Gaines, nice cross to his left. Too strong though on the shot, but we've got a foul called against Langston. Rolling to block inside the restricted arc.
They'll send Terrence Gaines to the foul line. Now 0 for 1 so far tonight.
Leads the team with 7 rebounds and 4 assists on the evening.
Struggles continue for MACU now at the foul line, 9 of 19.
Gaines able to get the second to go. They'll need some stops now as the offense starting to kind of slowly but surely round into form here. Team passing off to Brown on the right wing, goes to his right. Brown is fouled. Calavan the personal.
Looked like Calavan, he was able to get the ball, but I think he may have hit his head going up for the block, and that is what the official whistled. The contact to the head on that block shot.
And Amonte Brown, transfer out of Miami-Dade Junior College, where he averaged over 16 points per game last season, making the first. Well, it'll go 2 for 2, and we've got a timeout for Langston. MACU trailing 55-29. Under 15 minutes to play in the game. Doolittle along the arc with his left hand, giving off to Deron Clark. Clark driving in the middle of the defense, shovels over to Woodson, who got fouled with Brown landing on top of him.
This is the first time that we've seen Deron Clark be able to get into the lane and made a nice dish to Q. Get an opportunity to try and get a pair at the foul line here. The Angels need to try to convert when they get the opportunities, trailing by 26 here.
Oh, it's called on the floor, not on the shot.
I'm a little perplexed by that call, but the Angels still need to try and come up with a score here to cut into this lead.
Ornette muscled his way to the basket. A rare offensive rebound, but Woodson unable to put it back. Rainey no look to White. White knifes into the lane. Kick out to Mosley. Pump fake. Drives left. Contact with Gaines. No whistle. But Gaines touched it with his foot on the end line. .59 the score. Lob to Mosley, elevating. What a tip in by Dean.
Just pure persistence by Langston. Would not be denied the bucket there.
57-29. Clark bumped on the shot by White.
Clark an opportunity here. He's 5 for 7 so far in this game from the charity stripe. So Sharif Knox getting ready to check back in for Langston.
And Island Goodwin for MACU.
It's not been Clark's night from the foul line, now 5 of 8. We talked about at the top of the broadcast, he was 24 for 26 from the foul line coming into the night.
Well, in his defense, it hasn't been anybody's night at the foul line for MACU tonight. He is able to make the second. Dean has it taken away by Clark. Now behind the back dribble to his left and is fouled by Rainey. Immediately popped back up to his feet. I think Clark is politicking that there wasn't a play made on the ball there. Rainey called for the foul. Now, Adam referenced it earlier tonight. Tonight begins a game of 5 games in 8 days for MACU. Now, head to Central Christian Saturday, first free throw good, and then 3 games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in Florida next week.
Certainly not going to be an ideal trip for MACU. We need to make the trip up to McPherson, then go all the way down to Dallas to fly out on Sunday to head down to Florida. Certainly going to be putting on their jet legs over that stretch.
31-57 the score. A whistle away from the ball on Quentin Woodson. Just the second team foul on MACU.
There's a silver lining. Right now the Lions do have 7 fouls, so the Evangels will be in the bonus the rest of the way, but they need to be able to capitalize. As we've talked about, it seems like ad nauseum tonight, it's been tough sledding from the foul line.
White finding Harper. His corner 3 doesn't go, but Knox going to track down the rebound on the far corner. Harper tries it again, and off the mark, and we got a foul on Knox. Woodson will head to the free throw line. Rolling back in for the Lions to replace Knox, who just picked up his 4th foul.
2 players in foul trouble right now with Langston, Knox, and Rainey, each with 4. And as you were talking about earlier, this is a Langston team that's not deep, so if you can get them in foul trouble, there are opportunities.
Yeah, they've got a lot of guys on the roster who are not dressed, and we've got another foul. I don't know if it's an eligibility issue, injury issues. As another foul called against the Lions, but as they stand at this moment, a good team, but again, maybe not the deepest. Brown will come in for Mosley, who just committed his 4th foul. Now for MACU, another unfortunate reality of tonight as Clark makes the front end of the 1-1. First time MACU's successfully done that tonight. Next 6 games are all road or neutral games. They're not going to have another home game until December the 8th against USAO. And 9 of their next 10 away from MACU leading up to the new year. It's only their 2nd home game of the season. Brown muscling his way against Goodwin, and he is fouled, and we've gotten to this point of the game where there's a foul on every end of the court.
Certainly not an easy schedule for the Evangels this year, with only 1 non-conference game here inside the Gawkey Activities Center.
That's Goodwin's 3rd personal foul. Brown off the mark on the 1st. Harper out, Dean in. the second, and MACU now trailing by 26. 20-point game at halftime. Barnett had it knocked loose, got it back, floater good.
The floating jumper is certainly the best element of Jalen Barnett's offensive game. It seems like he gets at least a few of those a game.
Rainey pulling it back out for the Lions. 13 of the shot clock. White going to the basket, fouled, and the bucket good. Goodwin's fourth foul.
White continues to be nearly an unstoppable presence for the Lions, up to 17 points now on 7 of 12 shooting.
11 in the half. You can make it 12. Transfer out of Indiana University of Pennsylvania. I believe there's also a California University of Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken, as Barnett hits another floater. And MACU calls timeout. Streak. They're looking to win against MACU, home or road, for the first time since November of 2016. Langston making a big investment in both their men's and women's basketball programs in the offseason by going out and getting two very successful coaches who just happen to be at the same school. As Clark making a steal and now is fouled on the way to the basket by Brown.
There, Jalen Barnett goes to the floor trying to help out Duran, but that's a very good defensive play by Duran, getting a good read on the ball, going coast to coast, and now an opportunity to try and knock him down from the foul line.
By the way, there is, it used to be called California University of Pennsylvania. It is now called Penn West California, which I think is even more confusing. Because there's
I am definitely afraid I'd get lost if I tried to find the university.
It is in the town of California, Pennsylvania.
Trevante Doolittle checking in now for Terrence Gaines.
And then Indiana University of Pennsylvania is in Indiana, Pennsylvania. Boy, I don't know what's going on there. As the whistle called. Now, granted, Pennsylvania was a state before both Indiana and California, so I don't know when the foundings of those towns were. Now we've got another foul. This one on Woodson, and now we've got a technical foul.
Looks like that technical is going to go against Rowland.
Yeah, but I think it's a double technical with Duran Clark also getting one.
The Lions will now be in the bonus after that foul from Quentin Woodson.
Rainey again showcasing his skills getting to the rim. Gets another bucket. Caliban takes a three off the front of the rim. Ball is deflected out of bounds. Touched by Langston.
Talked about coming into the game, Caliban was 5 for 7 from beyond the arc, 0 for 3 tonight.
Well, Calavan, best look of the night, but it's off the mark. Alexandre going to get fouled. He's been in the game. Knack for drawing fouls tonight. First of two meetings between these two teams. They'll meet again January 19th in Langston. First free throw good by Alexandre, and just kind of thinking it was the start of that really special 2019-2020 season for MACU when they also opened the conference schedule against Langston here and just played an outstanding game, and it kind of made you think, well, this was when Langston was still pretty decent. And okay, this might be a special group here, and I think we've kind of seen the reverse play out tonight. Langston showing that, yeah, this group here certainly for real.
Well, and I think the thing that makes them the most special, too, is the identity that they have defensively, just getting after it.
Hey, that's
scary play.
Yeah. Barnett and Harper colliding near the sideline. MACU has already shot 31 free throws in this game. We've still got 10-11 to play. Seth Hurd in for Quinn Woodson. MACU down by 23 with about 10 minutes left. Rainey will reset near the top corner. And knocked loose by Doolittle, gets it back. And Rainey gets fouled by Doolittle.
That'll be the 8th team foul on the Evangels, sending the Lions to the line for the 1-and-1. So far, Rainey is 2 for 2 from the charity stripe.
In the women's game earlier tonight, we talked about how Kevin Harrod, he brought 3 players with him from Talladega to Langston. That was not the case for Chris Wright. And none of these players are with him at Talladega. So he has taken a completely new group together here at Langston. 10 years as a head coach and 211 wins. Previous stops at Central Baptist, Graceland, and Fresno Pacific. Won everywhere he's been, as we mentioned, as Barnett gets to the foul line after the basket is good. That's the 4th foul on Rainey. Last year, Chris Wright at Talladega all the way to the national title game before losing to Loyola. Had a thriller in the semifinals, beating Thomas More 78-77 in overtime. The first HBCU to make the title game since 1987. The free throw by Barnett rolls off. Last year, Talladega began the year on a 15-game win streak. They were 23-1 through 24 games. Again, they lost 6 games all year, 32-6. 4 came against one team, Loyola of Louisiana, which ended up winning the national tournament. They're in the same conference, met twice in the regular season, once in the conference tournament title game, and the national championship, as Rainey is fouled by Barnett. And now we've got double technicals again.
You can really tell emotions are really starting to ride high now.
Two free throws for Rainey. Now there are now 4 players with 4 fouls for Langston tonight. It's 66-42. Adam had to go take care of something else on the stat side. So he didn't just disappear. Another takeaway this time by Langston. Under 9 minutes to go in the game. Fade away, that time for Harper doesn't go, but Mosley the putback. Hurd. Nice pass, but unfortunately Gaines was out of bounds. Deron Clark back in for MACU. I don't think it was an unfortunate ill time for MACU to have to play their first game without Josiah Lewis, who's injured. We've got a timeout. MACU down to 68-34, 8.5 minutes to play. Game that's been controlled by Langston since the tip. White, who's had the big second half, gets fouled. Calavan picks up the foul, his second. White 1 of 3. Check that, 4 double-figure scores for Langston tonight. Making the first Knox and Dean back in for Rainey and Rowland. You know, White goes 2 for 2. (70-42). Entry pass for Hurd, denied by Knox. Throws it ahead, gathered by Dean. He's fouled. Mosley threw it down. It's not going to count. The foul was on the shot attempt by Dean. Foul on Deron Clark. That's his third. Alexandre back in for MACU. He'll replace Calavan. Dean going 2 for 2 at the line. Clark's shot off the mark, tipped around and grabbed by Dean. Again, these teams getting a head start on the rest of the conference, as we will have a lot of conference action tomorrow night. Knox off the mark on the 3. And this game was bumped up to Wednesday due to MACU hosting a men's soccer national tournament regional beginning tomorrow. Dean finding White, lays it in. About 7 minutes to go with MACU trailing 74-42. Alexandre trying to get it to Hurd, but too high and out of bounds. 16th turnover MACU tonight. So before the break, talking about how the rest of the conference will be in action tomorrow night. As there'll be 5 games on the schedule. We've got another foul. This one on Alexandre on Mosley. Southwestern Christian. They'll be at home against Central Christian. MACU is hosting Panhandle State. Texas Wesleyan visits OCU. John Brown at home against USAO, and UNT Dallas at home against Wayland Baptist, preseason favorite to win the conference. Wayland Baptist, that is. 76-42 with 6.5 to go. Clark had it stripped. Dean will lead ahead to Harper. Got fouled. Another whistle, another stoppage in play. That's Seth Hurd's third personal foul. Sends Harper to line, who's got 10 points at a game high. 12 rebounds tonight. Second of 2 free throws for Harper. Yeah, he ends up making both, and 78-42 the score. Deron Clark fading from the elbow off the back of the rim. Mosley the rebound. Well, with the rest of the conference getting underway tomorrow night, I've seen at least coaching staffs from 3 different schools in attendance to watch this game tonight. Get a live look at both MACU and Langston. Seen coaches from Southwestern Christian, USAO, and OCU all in the building. Those are just the ones I've seen, maybe others. There'll be a shot clock violation. It's probably the first time we've had 30 uninterrupted seconds in a long time in this game. .533 to go. Doolittle with the left hand, unable to finish, and ball was knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Lions. Doolittle, baseline jumper, good. Doolittle up to 8 tonight. Double-figure scores for MACU are Deron Clark and Jalen Barnett. Langston works it around the perimeter. Dean gets it from Rainey. Back to Rainey. Thought about the 3 with 8 to shoot. Now step back. Fires the 3. Off the mark. Battle for the rebound. It's loose and grabbed by Woodson, who got fouled by Rainey, who will foul out. A.J. Rainey will be done with 11 points. 4 assists on the night. And mentioned, though, very impressive with his speed and ball handling, getting the basket. You can see why he was a top player for LSU Alexandria last season. 2 free throws for Quentin Woodson, who's able to make the first. Woodson had been 0 for 4 at the line until that make. Langston gets the rebound. Mosley grabs it after the miss on the second. Mosley got tied up. Jump ball and go back to MACU. So for the Evangels, it's, likely going to be one of those games where, you just flush it and maybe not revisit it. A bad day at the office, as we like to say. As Barnett will go to the line and is fouled. MACU will and get prepared for a road game at Central Christian on Saturday afternoon. Jalen Barnett now up to 11 points tonight. He's been 4 or 5 from the floor. Now he'll make the pair, and it's 78-47 with 4:15 left. Harper with 14 to shoot against Gaines, spinning and hitting a tough shot. An impressive shot by Tristan Harper. Well, was very curious to see Langston, of course, very highly thought of, but a bit of a question mark as well with just all these new players is a foul on Brown, but you get to see him in person for the first time. And again, they have just been impressive from the very start. And you don't want to necessarily make any bold proclamations after one game, but I don't think it is a stretch to say they will be a factor in the conference this season. Rowland will come back in for the Lions. Connor Calavan back in for MACU. And Zach Thomas will check in for Knox with 3:31 left. And for the Evangels will not be home again till December the 8th as Calavan able to hit the 3 from the corner. Women's team will be home November the 28th. And non-conference play against Northern New Mexico. Chance to support Evangels Athletics tomorrow night. Again in their national tournament regional. One of the top seeds in the region, in the tournament. Tip in by Mosley. And looking at the weather forecast, tomorrow's actually supposed to be pretty decent. And hot and temps going to get back in the 50s as we have had some January weather here in mid-November of late. Not a bad night to be inside tonight, but it is, again, supposed to warm up a bit tomorrow. You can go to MACUathletics.com for all the details on the soccer regional. Thomas's three off the mark, rebounded by Mosley. He gets fouled. Looks like both teams getting ready to make some substitutions from further down their bench. For Langston, Paul Ift will come in. It's the first time he's gotten into a game this year. For MACU, Jabez Williamson and Michael Wooten check in for the first time. (86-50). Langston ahead with about 2 minutes to go. Barnett, floater off the back of the rim. Definitely one of the bigger losses MACU has sustained at home in quite some time. Very impressive performance by Langston, who's going to see a long conference losing streak come to an end. John Coons now in the game for MACU. Thomas had a knock loose by Williamson. It goes out of bounds with 1:35 left and 4 on the shot clock. Now Ronnie Lopez also in for the Evangels. Rowland got fouled with a second left on the shot clock. That foul was on Coons. David Onyina now in. Now the Evangels with some playing time for some guys who don't get a whole lot of game action. Hard workers in practice and whatnot, as Williamson missed that shot, might have been partially deflected. As the Lions in front at 88-50, so Langston will go to 3-0. Strong finish by Rowland. And 1-0 in conference for the Evangels. They'll take their first loss of the season at 2-1, 0-1 in Sooner Athletic Conference play. Knox with a steal and a breakaway and will finish and get fouled. A final look at tonight's numbers. Knox will knock down the free throw to make it 93-50. It was 39-19 at half. 54 points here in the second half for the Lions as the ball hit out of bounds. It'll stay with MACU with 43 seconds to play. Lopez, jumper too strong. And Langston comes away with it with 35 seconds left. And a big opening statement for Langston in conference play tonight. Ift to the basket, able to finish. Makes it 95-50. Much to the delight of the Langston fans. At the other end, Peyton Music with the basket. And 95-52, going to be the final score here tonight as the Lions dribble it out. What an impressive road performance by Langston to start off conference play. A dominant game.